Hi guys, welcome to another video. This one is about my tournament list. It's a quick update to the tournament thing I'd made before. I have changed the list slightly, so I figured I'd keep you posted as I said I would. So the tournament itself is actually happening tomorrow. So I'm still just pulling a few things together to get ready. The list isn't fully painted, which I knew it wouldn't be anyway, but I've actually got a lot of painting done, which has meant I've been too busy to make videos lately, but you know, hopefully there'll be more coming. So yeah, basically I am showing you the list I am actually going to run tomorrow. By the time you watch this video, I have probably already been to the tournament, so maybe a bit delayed, but I'm hoping to get some content while I'm there and I'll be able to upload it soon. So the list itself is more or less unchanged. I've still got Saint Celestine as my warlord. Yep, she will be running with the Seraphim, which I'll show you later. I've added 2 priests now, whereas previously I only had 2 before, but I've added 2 extra, so now I've got a total of 4. I've given all of them shotguns because I had the points and they're 1 point each, and they're an assault weapon with 2 shots, so you know, strength 4, why not? Okay, so the other differences are the 2 priests who are going in the troop squads both have combi flamers and shotguns. Fair enough, you know, that's pretty obvious. It's the same as before, other than the fact that we've got shotguns now. Priest with the Litanies of Faith and the shotgun, okay, and also a priest with a shotgun and melter bombs. These 2 are going to go together and they are going to join the Battle Conclave, which is new, which I have taken instead of Retributors. And the Battle Conclave is of course 10 Deathcult Assassins, so they're going to go in there. It means they can automatically pass war hymns. It means I don't have to test for it, and of course then they can kill things in close combat pretty well, so you know, that's nice to have. Having 2 priests in there means I can get both the reroll saves and reroll to wound, and of course they'll be fearless with the priests and the and of course they'll have hatred on the first turn, so they'll be rerolling to hit, rerolling to wound, and reroll saves. So that's really nice. And the shotgun just gives them a little bit of extra shooting as well before they go in, and that's nice. Melter bombs, I actually forgot about in the test games I had. But yeah, I've put melter bombs in there so they can kill vehicles if they need to, because sometimes they will be the last line of defence, and the only other anti-tank they have is either glancing rear armour, which can be difficult depending on what they're facing, which they have a decent chance at doing, or alternatively crack grenades on the 2 priests, so it's not really going to be that much. So putting the melter bombs in there at least gives them a good chance, especially with reroll to hit, and you know, they may get that reroll to wound if fighting against monstrous creatures or something, so you know, they can do stuff. The reason I put the melter bombs on the other priest instead of the guy with the Litanies of Faith, I'm not entirely sure this is the correct tactical choice, but basically if either priest dies, then at least someone has something useful left. If one priest just had the litanies and the melter bombs, then obviously they'd be a target against things like Vindicar Assassins, Illic Night Spear, that kind of thing. Anything that could target it out, it would be a bigger target and they'd all try and kill him. So at least that way I'm spreading out the upgrades, so if I lose one of the models, then I've still got I don't lose as many points basically on one thing immediately. So yeah, next we have troops, as you can see. Yep, the troops are exactly the same as before, so it's 9 Battle Sisters each, Flamer, Combi Flamer, Heavy Flamer, and of course a Rhino with Dozer Blades. 2 of those, and of course they'll each have a priest with the Combi Flamer in, so it keeps them fearless, you know. They're nice and mobile, it's 4 objectives secured units, and that seems to be enough in my testing. Because they are quite a sturdy squad, it means, you know, because they have the numbers, they can survive quite a lot, which is good. So they can basically get out, unload full firepower with preferred enemy hopefully, and yep, kill enemy units, and then they're also very, very resilient against any kind of counter attacks, because you know, they'll be very close range, so liable to get charged, but the priests really make it much more effective in close combat, and of course they'd have some devastating Overwatch too, so nice to have. Fast attack, we've got 5 Dominions with 4 Melter Guns. We have the Immolator, of course, with Twin Link, Multi-Melter and Dozeblade. Basically I've got Dozeblade on everything, because I would like to keep my options open. It's a very worthwhile upgrade. I need to stay mobile. Yep, it's obvious what they do. They basically outflank, try and kill a tank. In the test game I had last, there was a chance for me to start them on the board and scout them forward. It would have been a better option, even though I was going second. As it turned out, I seized the initiative anyway, so it would have been even better. But, you know, you can't plan for those things, and in my general experience, outflanking them tends to garner better results. This time around, they didn't really do anything, but, you know, that's just how it came down, and at least they were there, so, you know, it's an option. 10 Seraphim with 4 Hand Flamers and Melter Bombs on the Sister Superior. So, yep, same as before. You know, they have lots of anti-infantry. They're harassment, of course. The Melter Bombs just give them an extra little oomph against something if they need it. And it means they can kill vehicles reliably as well. They are my big distraction unit. They'll be going up with Celestine tanking. Their job is just to get stuck in as early as they can, kill infantry if they can. If not, they can go for tanks. But generally, they just want to be up there and just be a nuisance, and basically protect everything else, including my troops in the rhinos. And my heavy support, which of course is Penitent Engines, 3 of them, and an Exorcist with Dozeblade. So again, having a Dozeblade on the Exorcist means I can hide it in terrain without worry, because it can just pop out and shoot, no problem. It's just there as support fire. It'll go for light vehicles if I have to, especially turn 1. Otherwise it's going to go for any kind of targets of opportunity, like independent characters out on their own where it can kill them easily, or, you know, stuff like that. Otherwise it's just going to help lend fire at whatever there is. There's a very good chance I'm going to be facing some monstrous creatures, and that's where an Exorcist really excels, so I'll probably be facing off against those quite a lot. Penitent Engines, kind of, they're not really a crutch unit in the fact that I need them, because there's been a few test games where they haven't really done anything, mainly my own fault of course, and they haven't really needed to. The fact is they are still a threat on the table, and I can use that to direct the opponent where I want them. So because of that, I think it's very useful to have them, and you know, they always get worth their points as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, in the test games, my opponents hate them. They absolutely hate them. They just cannot handle it, and if they do target the Penitent Engines, then, you know, my Battle Sisters are fine to get in. They've still got my Dominions and Seraphim wreaking havoc, and of course Celestine as well. So now I've got the Death Cult Assassins. That's even scarier, because now I've got 2 close combat hitters, which is good because then if my troops get tied up in some way, they can smash into it and then, you know, basically wipe a unit, depending on which one goes well. So that's why I've got those, basically. The whole way this list works is that I can take out key units with either the Seraphim, the Exorcist and the Dominions. Like, all of them can get key units if needed. The Battle Sisters themselves obviously focus on infantry and then scoring objectives, so they can take objectives easily enough, and of course they can sweep forward if need be and take out big blob squads, that kind of thing. They stay mobile basically and just win the game. But what happens is, because they're such close range, if they get caught in assault, then, you know, the Penitent Engines and the Battle Conclave can at least free them from it, keep them moving, and basically it makes the makes any opponents have a tough choice. Like, do they assault me where they're going to get wiped because they're going to get caught in assault and then hit by something dedicated to that, or do they just try and stay at distance, at which point I'm just going to basically dominate the battlefield because I'll have my units everywhere and slowly pen them in? Or do they stay at short range where they're just going to come under severe firepower from my troops? So, it's tough choices. And, it's been working pretty well so far. I've had quite a lot of test games. It took me a very long time to come up with this list. So yeah, the total is 1,500 points. Pure Sisters of Battle army. Although allies were allowed, I should say, there was a limit on the amount of points you could put into it, and you can only have 2 detachments max. And I kind of wanted to do Pure Sisters anyway, but yeah, I tested a few different things. The Retributors just weren't working. I realised that I didn't really need them, but I had to spend those points on something. So rather than them, I tried taking another Exorcist. It was okay. It didn't really add too much either, but it was alright. I tried using a Calidus Assassin, which again was okay, but I feel a little bit too specialised to be effective in all the games. And the point is, it's brilliant if it has something specific to kill or harass, like something expensive and tasty. The problem is, if you're facing some opponents, it may not have a target at all, and then it's not even worth the opponent shooting at the assassin or attacking it, and then it just basically becomes a bit of a pointless thing. And it's still really good, but if they're not like wasting shots at the assassin, then it's not really a good distraction unit. I need stuff that could actually take some shots away. So I went with the Difficult Assassins instead. One of my favourite units in the previous codex, still very effective. They took some heavy nerfs, but with the priests it really does even it out. And if they all die, they all die. Doesn't really matter. They very rarely do all die. Usually get shaved down a bit, but you only need a few to kill, tactical squads and that kind of thing. So they are my specialist hunters in a way, because if something is too scary to kill, then at least they can tie it up, because they've got 5 up in vulnerable save. They'll be re-rolling it. So that's really nice. They also will be good if I face any Thunderwolf cavalry. Not sure I will. From the looks of things at the tournament, I'm going to be facing up against a lot of Eldar, which is to be expected. Quite a lot of Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard, if you prefer, which I haven't faced against for quite a while, so that should be interesting. That could be difficult, but I'd need a good, strong first turn. So yeah, that's basically it about my list. I'm feeling pretty optimistic, and I've been to a few tournaments before. I've always done pretty well. This is the second time I've taken Sisters of Battle. It's the first time in 7th edition, of course. It's my first 7th edition tournament, and yeah, I've played against some nasty lists before, so I kind of know what to expect. The main reassurance I have is that there's not going to be any super heavies in this, and that means you don't even have to worry about that kind of thing. So that's really nice. So not going to be facing any Imperial Knights or anything like that, hopefully. So yeah, that's basically it. Let me know what you think of the list. I will let you know how it performs. Pretty much completely done with the painting that I was able to do. I wasn't able to assemble the penitent engines, which I kind of figured might happen because they take so long to sort out. Just no time to do it. So as a result, I'll just do it afterwards at some point. But I'm taking some dreadnoughts as proxies. Like anyone's going to care anyway. They won't even know what penitent engines look like, probably. Yeah, let's see. I finished painting the Exorcist. Seraphim weren't going to get painted anyway, because again I need some more modelling supplies. The Dominions and the Immolator are completely done. One of the Rhinos is done. I have assembled the other Rhino, but it's not painted yet. But never mind. But basically everything else is completely painted, so that's nice to know. What was I going to say? Yeah, so that's basically everything. I think it should do well. We shall see. So anyway, if you like this video, remember to click like, Feel free to ask any questions or comment. If you like it, then of course go ahead and subscribe. I've got more videos in the archive, and of course I will be releasing more soon once this tournament is done, and I'll have a full roundup of the tournament, as much content as I can basically around it, on how it goes, but good or bad. I've had very good testing in basically I've won every test game I've played. The problem was that was actually more of a hindrance in some ways, because it was really hard to pin down what was crucial in the army, what wasn't quite working as effectively, and that kind of thing. Whereas if you have a bad game or you lose, then sometimes it's obvious, because you're like, oh, I haven't got enough anti-tank, I haven't got enough anti-infantry, maybe I'm lacking speed or range or that kind of thing. So yeah, when you keep winning, it's very hard to identify this sort of thing. But I'm pretty sure the Retributors were the issue, so they weren't really doing much. I haven't really missed them, sadly. So yeah, one thing I would worry about is that maybe I don't have quite as much anti-tank as I may need against certain lists. I was seriously considering the second Exorcist for that. But there you go, them's the breaks, so we'll find out. Alright, thanks for watching.